instead of, so you're sliding down. Everything else is exactly the same. You start on C. So you can see it's the same thing. So slide. It's the exact same thing backwards. Just remember the slides are in the same place, but they're going down now instead of up. So I'll just run through the whole descending scale or exercise slowly. When you get to this point, to turn it around so that you can continue going up and down, without stopping, think of one slide down, one slide up. So you'll let me just run through that real slow so you can see what I'm doing. Starting on the D that we originally started on. Up. But the second time, sliding up from the E to the F. So then you can just continue the whole thing over and over again. That sets you back up to where you were before. And just continue up and down. The next section is going to involve the other four strings. It's another warm-up exercise, and it's going to be a ascending and descending scale that just goes straight up and straight down. The weird thing about this is that it's going to be based on 4 notes on a string as opposed to 3, which a lot of you are probably used to. This particular scale, with the exception of the very first string, will have 4 notes on every string. And again, it's going to be the index finger doing all of the work. The index finger will be playing 2 of the 4 notes that you hear. So let me give you an example. Remember, I said with the exception of the first string, the lowest string, you'll be playing 4 notes per string. So start on the note A. Because of the way we're going to descend, I'm starting with an upstroke. So if you want to do it the way I'm doing it, start with an upstroke. You'll play down on the note D on the A string, and then the index finger will go up to E and play 2 notes on the A string. And you play F and G as you normally would, so you can see. Just continue. Play down on the note A on the D string. And again, the index finger will slide up to B. And that will be an upstroke. Continue. C and D. One more string. With the note E on the G string. And the index finger will slide up again, getting the note F. So the index finger is getting 2 notes on every string. And then end with G and A. So the whole scale, slow. That's the ascending version of the scale. It might not seem like a big deal now, but it can be real beneficial, because we'll add another octave onto that, and I'll show you in a minute. That kind of thing is easier for me. I'm always going to the adjacent string with the same stroke, and for me it's just a lot easier. So there I played a 2-octave scale and haven't even gotten to the B string or the E string yet. The descending version of that is going to be the exact opposite. I'll be playing 3 notes on the G string and 4 notes on every other string. So whereas we hit this E on the way up, this time we'll play the E on the D string on the way down. So you will have ended with an upstroke, supposedly, and A, G, and F. And then you play E, D, and C, and B on the D string. Those are your 4 notes. On the A string, you play A, G, F, and E, and then play D, C, B, and A on the low E string. So you've got 4 notes on every string except the G string when you're descending. And you should end with an upstroke so that you can continue. In other words, the last note of the descending scale will be the first note of the ascending scale, and vice versa. So the descending version is. The next warm-up exercise is pretty much the same thing, but we're going to tack on the 3rd octave. And it's going to be the same idea. You're playing 4 notes on the string. The only problem now is that you have to jump up 2 frets to hit this note B. So you will have ended here with an upstroke. You have to jump up 2 frets, hit the B, and then again you slide up to the C and add D and E. We're going to end it with only 3 notes on the high E string because of the way that we're going to descend. So just play F, G, and A on the high E string. So the whole thing slow from the low A. And there's your jump. So just work on that, and you can play a 3-octave scale playing 4 notes on the per string. To descend from this scale, I'm going to have a completely different approach. I don't descend the same way that I ascended. I'm going to have 4 notes on the high E string. What this will do is, I ended the last note, the high A, with a downstroke. So I'm going to play 4 notes descending on the high E string. This way I'll end with an upstroke. I can hit the B string with a downstroke. So I'll be playing 4 notes on the high E string and 4 notes on the B string. Now here's the weird part. I'm only going to play 2 notes on the G string, G and F. And the rest is going to be 4 notes. So you're playing 4 notes on every string descending except the G string. You're only playing 2. And what this allows me to do is always be going to the adjacent string with a downstroke. So let me just go through it slow once. Again, I'll end with an upstroke so I can continue doing the up and down version over and over again. Here's another approach to 3-octave scales that might make it a little bit easier for you mentally to think about. By keeping the same shape for each scale, it might make it easier for you to see the scale and make it easier for you to play the scale. I'm going to stay in A minor, only this time I'm going to start on the note B, and I'll play 4 notes on the first string that I'm starting on, which is the low E. Play B, C, D, and E. And I'll play 3 notes on the next string, F, G, and A. And that gives us a 1-octave scale. If you look at that shape, the index finger is playing B and C. You have 4 notes on the first string, 3 on the second, then that's your scale. Play the same thing right here. And then one more time. The picking is going to change. The way I descend, because of the way I descend, I'm going to start with an upstroke just like I did before. And if that's the case, then the next time I get to the first note of the same shape, octave higher, I'll have to start with a downstroke. Up, down, and then up again for the 3rd octave. But the index finger is playing 4 notes, B, C, D, and E, on every octave. B, C, D, and E. So that might make it easier for you.